We're with Caroline O'Connor, the Stanford coach, and Caroline, we're here at the Pac-10 SEC Challenge, the first one ever. Whose idea was this? How about that for a leading question?
Yeah, that's a little bit. I started talking about this about 2 years ago with some of my fellow conference coaches, and sort of batted the idea around with some of the SEC coaches. So I've been working on this for about 2 years, and to see it finally come to fruition is really exciting for me. So it's, I mean, in the end, it's definitely been, I think a collective effort, but yeah, I started talking about this pretty seriously about 2 years ago.
Well, a lot of the modern people don't realize this, but you go back 15 years or so when we only had two regions in the country, the East and the West, and there was a huge competition between those two, because back in those days, based upon how you played, depended on how many spots you got into nationals. Yeah. So there's always been a tremendous rivalry East to West.
Yeah, there's always been.
And I mean, the SEC is very strong. We've got 7 of the top 10 teams in the country here. I mean, your field's outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I remember those days well, and it was it came to be a battle at the end of the year to see, which region would get more spots than the other. And so I sort of, this idea came from, because I think the men, there are a couple of I think that there's at least one conference challenge on the men's side, and I think there might be another one on the women's side. But there's been the debate over the last couple of years. Since we've gone to 3 regions, we sort of lost that East-West debate. But the debate has really become, what's the best women's collegiate golf conference in the country? And, we all sort of joke around. We all have great relationships, but the banter has been, is it the SEC or is it the Pac-10? And it's one thing to look at year-end rankings, and it's one thing to look at finishes at the national championship, but I don't always necessarily think that those are representative of the strength of the entire conference. I mean, there are flukes every year, and not every team makes it to the national championship that should be there. So I thought, okay, well, let's let our clubs do the talking. Rather than just determining the best conference, based on those finishes, let's go ahead and put our clubs to work and get all 22 schools together and go head-to-head at the same course. Okay, let's shift gears here and talk about your team coming into this thing. I mean, how are they shaping up for you this year? Yeah, I feel really good. It was a little bit of a slow start, obviously, but I think that good things can come of that. So we've learned a lot about ourselves. We've learned a lot of lessons. We know what we needed to work on for the last 6 weeks or so, and so we've really worked hard. And I give this team a whole lot of credit. And we sort of, we talk about the San Francisco Giants and winning the World Series this last week, and no one really early on in their season expected them to do much. And, you never know what can happen, what can come of a team, that really believes in themselves and really has that persistence and works hard and has this unified goal. And so this is a great field. I mean, there are, I think, 15 of the top 25 schools in the country that are here. And so their teams are going to finish 15th in this tournament, but that doesn't mean that they're not one of the best teams in the country. So we're going to judge our team and evaluate our team, based on our improvements every single day. So I feel really good. The team feels really good about where we are going to this event, and so now we'll just get ready to play. It's been a long time since we've competed. We haven't played since early October, so we're ready to play. Well, we're looking forward to a great week of golf. Thanks for spending some time with us. Thanks, Mark.